Hi, I'm Amanda, and I wanted to invite you to something. I'm not sure about you, but since the beginning of this year, there has been some really crazy news that has hit all of our news cycles. It's been a really interesting season where there's just been lots of change and distractions and trying to find a way to be able to switch off and find some sense of peace and solitude. Just being able to find some time to be able to think. It's been a really interesting start to the year for me. And at the end of every year, I do a series of questions, which is called Seeking Clarity this year. And I've had some amazing times where I've sat in lounge rooms with women and I've taken some time just to sit and listen and hear what it is that they have to say, listening to their values, listening to their sense of contribution to community. And the thing that I've come out of that season thinking about is actually I want to take some time to be able to just limit some of the distractions and limit some of the noise and to go on a bit of a journey. So some of you would know here from my online spaces that the first week of February was a really big week for me because my latest book, Dear Creative Self, launched. And that's been a work in progress for many, many years. It's actually, I had the idea 5 years ago, and then the last 2 years I've been working really hard to get that book out there into people's hands. And in the midst of that season, I also had a publisher approach me at the end of last year and asked me to write a devotional for the Uniting Church. So it's the publishing arm from the Uniting Church. They asked me to write a devotional for Lent. And some of you might be like, what even is Lent? Like, what's Lent about? And basically it's a period of actually 46 days. Often we talk about 40 days being Lent, but it's 46 days because in the counting of the Lent calendar, they don't include Sundays as a part of that. And so they see Sunday as a day of rest. And so what I've done is I've taken the time to sit down and to write a devotional about Lent. And what I wanted to do is invite you on a journey. I'm going to be pulling back from social media and particularly the news because it's been a really crazy start to the year. And I want to just come back into myself. I want to come back into my faith. I want to go on a journey of discovery. And so what I'm going to do is each Monday across this period, I'm going to give you a sign up link below where you can come on a journey with me via email. And each Monday I'm going to send you a short encouragement via video. And then across the week, so it's going to be a 6-week journey, I'm going to actually reference the devotional. So week 1 is about seeking peace. I don't know about you, but I do want more peace in my life. I want to walk peace and the practice of peace into my everyday. Week 2 is actually about seeking connection. And I want to feel more connected to my family. And I think we live in a disconnected world where we are so connected online, and often we can feel quite isolated and lonely within a room of people. So how can we explore that idea of seeking connection, and what are some ways that we can make some small changes around that? The next one is seeking clarity, which is continuing on the theme from the beginning of the year and my New Year's resolution questions. It's about seeking clarity in our everyday, and that really comes back to our why and our sense of purpose and what it is that we're laying down, what it is that we're letting go of to be able to find clarity. The next one is seeking wisdom. How can you seek more wisdom in your life? And I think we live in a world that has more information and knowledge than ever before, but we have less wisdom, that capacity to be able to practically apply the parts of our faith, apply the parts of our lives, to be able to make some great decisions, to be able to step in to the future that we have, and the goodness of being able to sit present in the moment as well. Week 5 is about seeking intimacy. And what does intimacy mean? Intimacy means that connection between two people or between you and God, and feeling known and seen. And how can we seek out intimacy in our world rather than stepping back from connection? How do we step forward in intimacy, and how do we do that really well with boundaries? And then the week 6 is actually seeking surrender. And what does it mean to lay down our life as we step into the week of Easter then? What does it mean to surrender all? What does it mean to lay down the things that no longer belong in our season? What does it mean to step into a place of sacrifice? And the conclusion of the devotional is actually Awaken. What does it mean to live awakened to our moment, to the things that are happening in our everyday, to live on the precipice of beautiful change? And so I want to invite you on that journey, and that's why I wanted to do this video, to be able to start it. So to be able to do that, sign up for the email link that is here. It's also going to be on my bio on Instagram and Facebook. And this is going to be a journey that is through my faith, and it's going to be from my Christian values, and so I'd love to invite you on the journey of that. But thank you so much for listening, and if you've got any questions, like always, then come and find me, and let me just read you some of the introduction from the devotional to be able to set us up for it. So Lamentations 3:25 says this: "The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him." As a child, I loved to play the game of hide and seek, and it's a simple exercise in trust and curiosity. The game was the most fun though when you were the one hiding. Of course, the one being found holds all the cards. The tension, laughter, and possibilities of winning as you laid low in the corner of a cupboard. What about those times when you were the seeker? Or even worse, when everyone playing is really good at the game and the sheer terror of not being able to find those whom you were looking for. As a teenager, I remember a time when my brothers and sisters and cousins, they hid up in a roof cavity, and no matter how hard I looked, I could not find them. The origins of the word seek go back to the Latin word saguire, which means to perceive keenly by scent. Playing hide and seek with my boy cousins, that was definitely playing keenly by scent. But what about our daily walks with God? One of my favourite things to do whilst I read or journal is to light a candle, and there is something about the scent that encourages me to slow down and to surrender what God is trying to say to me. The origins of the word seek help us to remember that slowing down across a period like the 40 days prescribed for this journey together helps create space to ignite our senses once again. This study is a reminder that he calls us both the seeker and his friend. The seeking is the conscious effort to surrender in our everyday lives to the natural means to God himself, to constantly set our mind towards God in all of our experiences, to direct our minds and hearts towards him. Our friendship with God means that no matter what we do, we cannot make him love us more or any less. Friendship is just about being. So that's just the beginning of the introduction, and it goes on to finish that off. So I have limited paperback versions that have been sent to me from the publisher. I also have permission to be able to give my audience here the downloadable version, but I can also link you in with the publisher to be able to buy it from them, and if you want to be able to use it with groups of people as well. So let's go on this journey together. Thank you so much for your time, and sign up via email and I will send you out this journey that we're going to go on together.